The morning sun touched the tall buildings of the small city as a bus stopped in front of the local high school. A new girl stepped down from the bus. Her name was Amara. She was quiet, her face calm, but her eyes looked sharp and strong. She carried one small bag, and her clothes were simple. Nobody knew who she was or where she came from. Inside the school, students were already busy laughing, talking, and showing off their new phones and shoes. Amara walked through the hallway silently. Some students turned their heads. She was new, and she looked different, darker skin, quiet eyes, and a serious face. A group of girls sitting near the lockers started whispering. The leader of that group, Bella, smiled in a mean way. Bella was known for her loud mouth and bad attitude. She liked to make fun of new students. When she saw Amara, she said loudly, "Hey, look at the new girl. She thinks she's too good to talk to anyone." Amara didn't say anything. She just looked at them for a second, then walked away. That small moment, that calm look, made Bella angry. No one had ever ignored her before. At lunch, Amara sat alone. She opened her lunchbox quietly while everyone else chatted. Some boys at another table started teasing her too. "Hey, new girl. Why so serious?" they said. She didn't answer. One of them threw a piece of bread at her table. She looked up, and for a quick second, her eyes showed something. Something dangerous. Something cold. The boy looked away, pretending to laugh. Rumors started spreading fast. "Did you see her eyes? She's weird. Maybe she's trouble." That afternoon, Bella decided to test her. She walked up to Amara in the corridor with her friends behind her. "Hey, new girl," she said. "We don't like people who act like they're better than us. You got that?" Amara stopped walking and turned slowly. Her voice was calm. "I don't think I'm better than you. I just came here to study." Bella stepped closer. "Then learn some respect," she said, pushing Amara's shoulder. The whole hallway went quiet. Everyone was watching. For a moment, Amara said nothing. Her eyes were still calm, but deep inside, something was waking up, a shadow from her past. She had promised herself to stay quiet, to live a normal life. But bullies never understood silence. Bella pushed her again, harder this time. "Say something, new girl." Amara looked straight into her eyes. "You don't want me to say something?" she whispered. The sound of those words sent a chill through Bella's body, but she didn't show it. She laughed. "Oh yeah, what are you gonna do?" Before anything could happen, a teacher came around the corner, and everyone quickly moved away. Bella gave Amara a last glare. "This isn't over," she said, walking away with her group. Amara took a deep breath and walked outside. She sat under a tree near the playground. Her hands were shaking slightly. She looked at the small scar on her wrist, a reminder of her old life, the one she was trying to escape. She closed her eyes in her mind. She could still hear the voice of her old coach. "You are strong, Amara, but real strength is not about fighting. It's about control." She'd learned to fight since she was 10. She had been a fighter in a different city, in a different world, one where you fought not for pride, but for survival. Now, she just wanted peace. But deep down, she knew peace never lasted long when people smelled weakness. That night, as she looked at her reflection in the mirror, she whispered to herself, "They have no idea who they're messing with." The next day, Bella and her group had a plan, and Amara was ready. The next morning started like any other day, but the air in school felt a little heavier. Everyone had heard about Bella's argument with the new girl. Some students were excited, waiting for what might happen next. Others stayed quiet, watching from a distance. Bella walked into school with her group, Mia, Chloe, and Sarah, the same girls who always followed her lead. She had a new plan in mind. Her eyes were full of pride and mischief. "If that new girl thinks she's tough, we'll show her who runs this school," she said, smiling coldly. Mia asked, "What are we going to do?" Bella grinned. "Something small first. We'll make her regret coming here." Meanwhile, Amara sat in class, trying to focus on the lesson. Her mind was calm, but she could feel eyes watching her from behind. She didn't look back. Years of fighting had taught her that attention gives power to others. Silence was her shield. After class, she went to her locker. It was open. Her books were thrown on the floor, and her lunchbox was crushed. On the door, someone had written with red marker, "Go back where you came from." The hallway filled with whispers. Bella's friends laughed softly near the corner. Amara stood still, staring at the mess. For a moment, her hands tightened into fists. Then she slowly bent down, picked up her books, and placed them back in her locker. She didn't say a single word. That silence made Bella even angrier. She's acting like she doesn't care. She shouted to her friends later, "Tomorrow, we'll make her react." After school, Amara walked home alone. The streets were quiet. Her small apartment was dark when she entered. She placed her bag on the table and looked in the mirror. The mark on her wrist caught her eye again. Her past felt close, too close. Flashbacks ran through her mind, the sound of gloves hitting sandbags, her coach yelling commands, the roar of a crowd during street fights. She had once fought to survive, not for fame. People had called her the Shadow Girl because she never lost a fight, and no one saw her coming. But that life was gone. She had left it behind for peace. Still, peace was fragile. The next day, the plan started. Bella and her group followed Amara during lunch. They waited until she went to the bathroom alone. Bella nodded to the others. They entered after her. Amara was washing her hands when she saw their reflection in the mirror. She turned slowly. Bella crossed her arms. "Still quiet, new girl?" Amara didn't answer. Chloe laughed. "Maybe she doesn't speak English," she said cruelly. Bella stepped closer. "You think you're better than us, huh?" Amara looked at her calmly. "No. I just don't fight with people who are already lost." The room went silent. Bella's face turned red. "What did you just say?" "I said you don't know what real strength is," Amara said softly. Bella pushed her hard against the sink. "Say that again." She shouted. Something inside Amara snapped. The sound of her heartbeat grew louder. She closed her eyes for a second, breathing deeply. When she opened them, her expression had changed. Cold, sharp, focused. Bella raised her hand to slap her, but before it could land, Amara caught her wrist. The speed shocked everyone. In one smooth move, Amara twisted Bella's hand behind her back. Bella gasped in pain. Chloe and Sarah froze. They didn't expect the quiet girl to move like lightning. Amara leaned closer to Bella's ear. "Don't touch me again," she whispered. Then she let go. Bella stumbled back, holding her arm, too scared to speak. Without saying another word, Amara walked out. The bathroom stayed silent for a long time. The girls just stood there, shocked and trembling. When Amara returned to class, her face looked calm again, but inside, she knew this was only the beginning. Bella wouldn't stop now, and neither would she. The next day, the whole school buzzed with whispers. No one had seen what happened in the bathroom, but everyone had heard about it. The story spread fast, growing bigger with every mouth it passed. Bella got scared of the new girl. No, she almost broke Bella's arm. I heard Amara is some kind of street fighter. By lunchtime, the story had turned into a legend. The quiet new girl who nobody knew was suddenly the most talked about person in school. Amara sat at her usual table, eating her lunch quietly. Students around her tried to sneak glances. Some looked impressed, some looked scared. A few even smiled, like they finally had a new hero to admire. But Amara didn't like any of it. She didn't want fame. She didn't want fear. She just wanted peace. Across the cafeteria, Bella sat with her hand wrapped in a bandage. Her friends looked nervous. Bella's eyes burned with anger and embarrassment. She couldn't believe the quiet new girl had made her look weak in front of everyone. "She's not going to get away with this," Bella said, her voice shaking with rage. Mia hesitated. "Maybe we should just leave her alone." "She's not normal." Bella slammed her tray down. "No. If we stop now, everyone will think I'm scared. I'm not scared of her. I'll make her pay." That night, Amara sat by her window. The moonlight touched her face as she looked outside. She could feel something heavy in the air, the kind of silence that comes before a storm. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "You should watch your back." She didn't reply. She knew who it was from. Instead, she opened her small notebook, the one her coach had given her years ago. Inside, she had written 3 words: control, discipline, strength. She closed her eyes and whispered the words slowly. They reminded her who she was now and who she used to be. The next morning, she walked into school like nothing had happened. Her steps were calm, her head high. But she noticed something new. Teachers were watching her more closely now. Principal Reed even called her into his office. "Amara," he said kindly, "I've heard some things." "About a fight." "There was no fight," Amara replied. He looked at her carefully. "You're new here. Sometimes people don't understand differences. I just want you to stay out of trouble, okay?" She nodded. "I'll try." When she left his office, she saw Bella standing near the hallway, whispering to 2 boys from the football team, tall, strong, and known for causing problems. They looked at Amara and laughed. She understood. Bella wasn't finished yet. During gym class that afternoon, Bella's plan took shape. The teacher announced a free training day in the boxing section of the gym. A rare chance for students to try gloves and punching bags. Bella smirked when she heard that. "Perfect," she whispered to Mia. When Amara entered the gym, everyone was already there. Bella stood near the ring, pretending to talk to the coach. She turned when Amara walked in. "Hey, new girl, you want to try?" Amara hesitated. "No, thank you." But the coach smiled. "Come on, everyone should give it a try. It's just practice." Bella's eyes sparkled with a cruel idea. "Let's spar." "Just for fun," she said loudly, making sure everyone heard. The students cheered. "Fight. Fight." Amara's heart sank. She didn't want to fight. Not again. But saying no now would make her look afraid. And Bella knew that. Finally, Amara sighed. "Fine, just 1 round." They stepped into the ring. Bella smiled. Confident that her plan would work, she had told the 2 football boys to help her accidentally push Amara during the match. The crowd formed a circle, phones ready to record. The whistle blew. Bella threw a punch fast but messy. Amara moved slightly, and the punch missed. Another one came, then another, but Amara dodged them with quiet grace. Her eyes stayed calm, her breathing steady. The students gasped. Bella grew frustrated and swung harder. Then, something happened. One of the football boys accidentally pushed Amara from behind. She lost her balance for half a second. Bella saw her chance and threw her hardest punch, but it never landed. Amara's reflexes took over. In one fluid move, she ducked, twisted, and her palm hit Bella's shoulder with perfect control. Bella fell backward, not hurt, but shocked. The whole gym went silent. Amara looked around, eyes sharp but calm. "This isn't a game," she said quietly and walked out. Everyone stared, speechless. Bella's pride was broken again, and this time, the whole school saw it. The school was never the same after the gym incident. Videos of Amara dodging Bella's punches spread like wildfire. Some called her a legend. Others called her dangerous. By the next day, everyone knew the quiet new girl wasn't just brave. She was skilled. Amara walked through the hallways as whispers followed her like shadows. "She moves like a fighter," someone said. "She's hiding something," another voice whispered. Bella didn't come to school for 2 days. When she finally returned, her pride was gone, but her anger had grown stronger. She couldn't forget the way everyone had stared at her when she fell. The laughter behind her back burned like fire. During lunch, she sat with her friends, her face pale, but her voice firm. "I don't care what it takes," she said. "I'll ruin her. She made me look weak." Sarah looked nervous. "Bella, maybe we should stop." "Everyone's scared of her now." Bella slammed her hand on the table. "I'm not scared. She's hiding something, and I'll find out what it is." That night, Bella searched Amara's name online. It took hours, but finally, she found something, a local news article from another city, 2 years old. The headline read, "Teen girl wins underground fight tournament, vanishes after police raid." The picture was blurry, but the eyes were the same. Bella smiled darkly. "So, the new girl has secrets," she whispered. The next day, Bella waited until break time and showed the article to her friends. See this? This is her. She's a street fighter. The girls gasped. You're kidding. No, Bella said. She's dangerous. We can use this. By lunchtime, the rumor had spread again, but this time, it wasn't about a bathroom fight or a boxing match. It was about Amara's past. She used to fight in illegal rings. She hurt people for money. Maybe that's why she moved here. Change in the air as she walked into the cafeteria. The eyes that once admired her now looked fearful, judging, curious. The noise around her grew louder with each step. She sat down quietly, pretending not to hear the whispers, but her heart felt heavy. Later, she went to the school library to be alone. The silence there gave her peace until she heard footsteps. Bella stood behind her, holding a printed copy of the article. So it's true, she said softly, pretending to sound innocent. You're that girl. Amara turned, her eyes calm but tired. You went digging into my life. Bella smirked. Everyone deserves to know who you really are. You think you're better than us? You're just a street fighter who ran away. Amara stood up slowly. You don't understand anything. Oh, I understand enough, Bella said coldly. You're violent. You belong in the streets, not here. Amara took a step closer, her voice low and steady. I fought to survive, not to show off. You fight because you're scared inside. Bella froze for a second. The words hit deeper than she expected. But pride didn't let her stop. You can't scare me, Amara. I'm not trying to, Amara said. But if you keep pushing, you'll see what real fear looks like. Bella glared at her. We'll see about that. That night, Amara couldn't sleep. The memories she tried to bury began to surface again, the smell of sweat and blood, the sound of crowds shouting her name. The night when the police broke in and she had to run, leaving everything behind. She remembered her coach's last words. Run from the ring, but never run from yourself. The next morning, Principal Reed called both girls into his office. His face looked tired. I've had enough of this. Bella, you're spreading rumors. Amara, people are afraid of you. I want peace in my school. Bella crossed her arms. Ask her to tell the truth then. The principal turned to Amara. Is it true? Amara looked down, then met his eyes. Yes, I used to fight, but not anymore. The room went silent. Principal Red sighed. Everyone deserves a second chance. But if there's one more problem, both of you will face suspension. As they left the office, Bella whispered, You may have fooled him, but not me. Amara didn't reply. She just walked away, her eyes cold and unreadable. She knew this wasn't over. Bella's pride had turned into something darker, and this time, it could destroy them both. The morning after the meeting with the principal, the air inside the school felt heavy again. Everyone knew Amara's secret now. Some students looked at her with respect. Others stepped away as she passed. A few whispered cruel things when they thought she couldn't hear. Amara tried to keep her head down. She focused on her books, her classes, her quiet routine. But the silence around her was louder than ever. Even teachers spoke softly when she was near. It wasn't peace, it was isolation. Bella watched it all from across the hallway. Her plan had worked. Amara's reputation was broken, her peace destroyed. But still, Bella wasn't satisfied. There was something inside her, pride mixed with jealousy, that wouldn't let her stop at lunch. Bella gathered her group again. We're not done, she said coldly. I want her gone. For good. Mia looked uneasy. Bella, this is going too far. You already ruined her name. Let it go. Ah! But Bella shook her head. No. She made me fall in front of everyone. She made me look weak. I'll make sure she never forgets me. That evening, Bella came up with a cruel idea. She asked one of the boys from the football team, Tyler, for help. Tyler liked Bella and never said no to her. What do you want me to do? He asked. Bella smirked. Just scare her a little. Nothing serious. She deserves it. Tyler hesitated but agreed. All right. Tomorrow after school, the next day, Amara stayed late to finish a project in the art room. The hallways were empty when she finally packed up her things. As she walked toward the exit, she heard footsteps behind her, slow and heavy. Her instincts immediately sharpened. She turned around. Tyler and another boy stood at the end of the hall, smirking. "Hey, fighter girl," Tyler said. "Heard you're some kind of champion," Amara didn't reply. "Move," she said quietly. Tyler stepped closer. "Or what? You'll fight us." Amara's heart started to race. She didn't want to fight. Not again. "I don't want trouble," she said. The other boy laughed. Too late for that. Tyler pushed her shoulder. She stepped back but stayed calm. "Don't do this," she warned. Tyler smirked. "Come on, show us your moves." He reached out again, but this time Amara caught his arm. Her grip was firm, not hard, just enough to make him freeze. "Walk away," she said firmly. But Tyler pulled his arm free and swung at her. The punch missed. She had already moved. Her body reacted on its own, fast and precise. She ducked, twisted, and in one clean motion, kicked his leg out. He fell to the ground with a groan. The other boy ran. Amara stood still, breathing hard. Tyler sat up, shocked. "You're crazy," he muttered, clutching his knee. Amara's eyes softened. "No, you're just cruel." She turned and walked away, her hands trembling. She hated this, the violence, the fear, the part of her that could never truly disappear. But someone had seen everything. From behind a corner, Bella stood frozen. She hadn't expected things to go this far. She only wanted to scare Amara, not start a real fight. But now, she had another plan forming in her mind. The next morning, a rumor spread faster than ever. Amara attacked a boy. She broke his leg. She's dangerous. Teachers called a meeting. The principal looked serious this time. "Amara, we have to investigate." "Violence isn't allowed here," Amara tried to explain. "They followed me. I didn't start it." "I saw it," she said calmly. "She attacked him first." The lie hit like a knife. Amara looked at her, eyes full of disbelief. The principal sighed. "Until we find the truth, you're suspended for a week." Amara nodded slowly. She didn't argue. She just walked out of the office quietly, her bag on her shoulder, her world spinning. Outside, cold wind brushed her face. For the first time, she didn't feel angry, only tired. She looked up at the gray sky and whispered, "No matter how far I run, my past always finds me." But deep inside, a small fire was still burning. This wasn't over. The week of suspension felt like forever. Amara stayed inside her small apartment, staring at the walls, lost in silence. Every night, her mind replayed the same question: why can't peace ever last? She wanted a normal life. She wanted to study, to forget her past, to be someone new. But every time she tried, the world reminded her who she used to be. When her suspension ended, she returned to school quietly. The air was cold, and the students moved aside when she passed. Their eyes followed her like she was something dangerous. Bella stood near the lockers, pretending to chat, but her eyes stayed fixed on Amara. Guilt pricked at her chest, but she pushed it away. She told herself she'd done the right thing. She'd protected the school from a fighter. But deep down, she knew it was a lie. That afternoon, something unexpected happened. Tyler, the boy Amara had defended herself against, returned to school on crutches. Everyone expected him to hate her, but instead, he walked straight to the principal's office. 2 hours later, an announcement came through the intercom. All students to the auditorium immediately. The whole school gathered. The principal stood on stage, his voice serious but calm. "We need to clear something up," he said. "There's been a misunderstanding." Mara sat in the back row, silent. Bella sat near the front, her heart pounding. Principal Reed continued. "Tyler has come forward to tell the truth about what happened last week." All eyes turned to Tyler as he slowly stepped up on stage. He took a deep breath. "Amara didn't attack me," he said clearly. "We tried to scare her. I pushed her first. She only defended herself. I was wrong." The room went completely silent. Bella's face went pale. Tyler looked at the crowd again. You all think she's dangerous because she can fight. But she didn't hurt me. She could have, but she didn't. She stopped herself. That's real control. The principal nodded. Thank you, Tyler. I hope we can all learn something from this. Then his eyes turned toward Bella, and to those who spread false rumors. I expect honesty and change. Bella felt her throat tighten. She couldn't look up. Shame burned inside her like fire. After the meeting, Amara quietly walked outside. She stood under the same tree where she used to sit alone. The cold wind brushed her face, but for once it didn't feel heavy. A few minutes later, Bella approached her slowly. Her voice was small. Amara. Amara turned, but said nothing. I'm sorry, Bella whispered. I lied because I wanted to hurt you. I was jealous. I thought being feared made me strong, but it only made me weak. Amara studied her for a long moment. Then she said softly, real strength isn't about power or control. It's about knowing when to stop. Bella nodded, tears forming in her eyes. I know that now. I don't expect you to forgive me. Amara looked up at the sky. Forgiveness isn't for you. It's for me. Bella blinked in confusion. Amara gave a small smile. Holding hate only keeps me trapped. I'm done fighting ghosts. Bella stood there, silent as Amara walked away. The days after that were different. Slowly, students began to see Amara not as a fighter, but as someone strong in a different way. She started helping in gym class, teaching self-defense to girls who wanted confidence. Not violence. Tyler joined too, learning respect instead of pride. Even Bella came one day, standing in the back, quietly watching. Amara still carried her past, but now it didn't control her. It had become her strength, not her curse. One afternoon, as the sun set behind the school, her coach's voice echoed in her memory again. Control. Discipline. Strength. She smiled and whispered to herself, I finally understand. The story of the new black girl who everyone feared had changed. Now, she wasn't just the girl who could fight. She was the girl who learned when not to. And this time, peace finally stayed.